Hi there, welcome to your first day at skate school. I'm your instructor, Korbin Brunow, and follow me inside and let's get started. All right, so before we get started, we got to go over what we're gonna talk about today. And so that's gonna be, oh wait, what's that? Wow, that's a really cool trick, but we're not gonna be going over that today, unfortunately. However, that is very cool. So what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna roll on down to the classroom and we're gonna learn about sort of the history of the Ollie. Then we're going to skate on over to the park and we're going to see how to do one. And then right after that, we're going to see how it's going to further your career in skating. All right, with that being said, follow me down to the classroom. All right, before we get started, I'd like to ask that everybody take a seat and quiet down so we can all pay attention. So the Ollie, what really is it? So it was invented in the late 70s by Alan Gelfand, who went by the nickname Ollie. He used a technique of pushing the board down to sort of get more air out of the ramp. The idea was that by getting the board to sort of stick to his feet more, he can get higher up out of the ramp and do cooler tricks. Now, this was built upon by skaters later and sort of evolved into a technique that was be able to use on the ground. And that really helped bring very leaps and bounds in the progressiveness of skateboarding tricks. Now that we've learned about sort of the brief history of the Ollie, let's skate on down to the park and figure out how to do one. All right, now that we're down here, grab your boards and simmer down and let's get going. So the first step to doing one is you want to learn how to get the pop on a skateboard. So the pop is defined as where you bend your heel down in order to pop the skateboard up. It pushes the tail into the ground, and that motion creates a reaction with the ground that will push your skateboard upwards. So if you ride goofy, you're going to be pushing your left foot down, and if you ride regular, you're going to be pushing your right foot down. So the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to learn how to get the muscle memory of just sliding your front foot towards the nose of the board. If you do it long enough, it'll build muscle memory in your head so that you won't have to worry about it when you're actually doing the trick. It'll just come naturally. A lot of people can spend anywhere from hours to minutes doing this. After that, you're going to want to put the two steps together and get the idea that you're going to pop and then slide, and pop and then slide. Those two come consecutively right after each other. So the third thing, after you spend a while doing that, is you want to jump. So after you pop, slide, and then you jump, that'll get all through the motions and you can start doing it for real. So when you do it for real, it'll look something like that. Everybody messes up from time to time, but that's okay. And a lot of people, when starting out, can't really get it that high off the ground. And that sort of comes to you have to bend your knees a lot more in order to get a higher jump. So to be more explosive with it, it gets you higher in the air. After you can get all of that down, it's all just repetitiveness and keeping going through the motions until you can get it just right. For people, it can take anywhere from months to days, or some people can't even do it after years of skating. It all just takes time and repetition. Now that we've sort of learned how to do that, now that we've learned how to do an Ollie, let's see how it'll benefit you and how you can learn more tricks with just the Ollie. So the kickflip is a well more known trick, and it is essentially a variation of the Ollie where you don't slide to the front of the board, you slide off the board. And that flips the board over where you can jump back on it. That all stems from being able to know how to Ollie. If you can't Ollie, then there's no shot that you're going to be able to kickflip or do any other trick, like the pop shove it. So the shove it is the normal trick that looks like that. But the pop shove it gets you air with it. in the air, can help you get on ledges, or it honestly just looks cooler in my opinion. All these tricks and more all stem from the knowledge of being able to know how to ollie. Anyways, let's go back to school and wrap this up. So before I send you guys on your way, let's go over what we learned how to do today. So first, we learned about the brief history of the ollie, and then we learned how to do one, and after that, we saw how it would help you in furthering your tricks. So check, check, and check. So that was day 1, and we hope to see you again tomorrow to learn how to do the pop shove it.